Hell yeah.
Like 6 people coming from Riff. The Riff Raff.
Right, right. Okay. Let me tell Jason Lee I started it.
What's happening?
What's happening,
What's going on, y'all? How
man?
y'all feeling?
What up? What up? All out, boy. I ain't. It feel like I ain't seen you like in a year, boy. Where you been at?
Man, I had to take a break off his talk his ass
Yes,
back.
sir.
Oh God.
So I'm only gonna bring
Yeah,
up
for sure.
Troll's bad
I ain't
ones
seen you
right
on riff or
now.
nothing.
Oh, dang it. All right, y'all. Let's make this a good one. Let's make this a good one.
T Row, what's up, my man, West brother?
What's up, bro? What's happening? What's happening?
Chilling.
Troll Nation.
Hi, everybody.
What's
What it
up?
do?
What's
What it
up,
do?
people?
What it do? What it
Hello,
do?
hello, hello.
All right, y'all. I don't know. Just a little bit before we go, man. This is gonna be dope. This is gonna be really, really dope. Paying up. Get a lot of people in here, man. It's about to be a really, really fly, really, really dope interview with Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee. If you're not familiar with Jason Lee, he's been on Love and Hip Hop. He's got millions of streams everywhere from syndicated shows of Hollywood Unlocked. He's some people have said he's the king of the dark side here on Clubhouse, but he doesn't like that. But you know what I'm saying? He's definitely dope and a great, great person to talk to. So, you know what I'm saying? Just feel free to kick back, enjoy the interview with Trollz Nation, and definitely make sure y'all scroll up to the top, follow the house, and we'll be with y'all in a second. Jason will be here in a second. Hold on.
This is
Welcome,
very
Jason Lee.
exciting.
Yo, y'all organized as hell.
What's going on, Jason?
I'm here. Sorry, it is 4:15 a.m. in Dubai. My time is all fucked up. I apologize for starting earlier.
Nah, we just thank you for coming.
Of course. Wait, so like, am I in the hot seat or something, or is this just like free flowing conversation? Am I getting in trouble?
No, Jason, you're perfectly fine,
You're in big
Jason.
trouble.
Hey, yo, Jason, it's a little bit of everything. It's a little bit of everything. It's gonna be a
A
good one.
little bit of everything.
One thing we learned from you, Jason, is you do not bite your tongue for nothing. So this is gonna be dope.
All right, guys, stay tuned, stay tuned. Trollz Nation, Trollz Nation, Trollz Nation. Y'all already know what it is, man. The dopest, the livest Clubhouse room on Clubhouse, man. Y'all already know what we do, man. Not only do we troll, but we have great conversations, topics, and interviews from some of the most distinguished guests from street legends to celebrities to independent artists to independent moguls, man. Y'all already know how we do it and when we do it, man, because y'all be scrolling up to the top and y'all be following the house. All you got to do is tap that house, become a VIP member of Trollz Nation, and you'll be able to get down with the team, man. T Rose is on lead on this one, man, and definitely thank him and the team for being here, man. Jason Lee is definitely in the building. If you have not done any research on this young man has definitely been someone who I definitely have looked at as someone um, a mentor in this personality world of on air personality, TV and film industry, and everything, man. And he has, like I said, millions of streams from different places from around the world, syndicated shows, and I'm talking about this guy can step in front of anyone and has been on the phone with people like Michael Jackson, Prince, and I mean he's just full of so many things, man. So much information. And right before I get ready to pass it to T Rose, I just want to thank Jason Lee for coming through. I know how much your time is definitely valuable. You all the way in Dubai, you said? Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
I thought I was unmuted. I've been talking and everything. Fuck. Yes, I'm in Dubai. I'm in Dubai, but I'm here and I'm
All
locked
right,
in.
man. Jason Lee is in the building, man. So make sure y'all definitely ping up, ping up, ping up. All right, and we gonna get ready to start this interview in about a couple of seconds, man. So we're gonna give y'all a couple seconds, get relaxed, and Sit back and just enjoy the
Okay,
ride.
wait. I had asked this question on mute. Is that the real 6ix9ine or is that a 6ix9ine news page? Okay, because
Yeah.
I'm like, here we go. Here he go.
We gonna get into that for sure.
You don't be surprised if he bring his ass up in
Oh
here.
no, no, no. He's. I mean, we got each other's number. It's no beef at all. So I try to get along with everybody, bro. I believe I'm the least problematic person in the world. I just get labeled problematic because I say what I think. And if we were in a world where free thinking was okay, I think everybody would be crazy or looked at as messy. But hey, don't shoot
Right.
at the bad guy.
I definitely agree with you.
Why do you think people look at you as the bad guy? Why do you think people say Jason Lee is someone who has been known to be that voice of reckoning when he comes through? He's gonna have his opinion. He's gonna stand on it. How do you feel being that person who has that type of stance in the industry that you're in?
I mean, we live in an overly sensitive society that is governed by what societal norms quote are or supposed to be, and I live a life full of free thinking, free doing, free. I mean, I do what I want to do, and a lot of people can't do that, and they get mad at me for doing it when I'm literally saying, like, you don't know how many times I'll get a call from somebody who you would think, oh, they're not messy, they're this major celebrity, but they calling me like, yo, I saw what you posted, that shit is real as fuck. I want to say it, but I can't say it. Well, I said it, but I don't say it in a way of trying to be a hater or trying to be messy. I just say it because that's just what I thought about it and what I felt about it.
People keep labeling you this king of the dark side, and Clubhouse has been around for a while now. Especially like people like myself have celebrated a year or so, seen many things on this app. Even you have come on this app back in the day, and I mean really set this app off. Was doing a lot of unlock Hollywood stories. Like, what is it like returning now? It's been a year for you. What is it like being here now in Clubhouse? Like, how's it been? How you like the vibe now?
Oh man, I think Clubhouse has the full potential of being anything a person wants it to be. And for me, I look at it as just an extension. It's an audio extension of what Jason Lee is doing. I'm in Dubai, with Floyd Mayweather. If I say to him, hey, like, let's go online right now and let's give value on black ownership and how we built our own brands. And you're $1 billion man. My company's worth millions now, and still growing. But how do we feed the people information that they need in order to grow and whatever. I mean, it's that's what I love about Clubhouse, because you can do it from wherever you are. I can be laying in the bed in the dark, I could be in the car, I could be wherever I want to be, and so I love Clubhouse for that. To your question, coming back, the app is given a lot of clowns clout. They think that having 500 views is worth more than building a relationship that can help you get $500 million. And I think for those people who just want to do that, that's their thing. That's great. It's just less competition for me. Like, I'm fucking out here getting the bag. I got to Dubai as soon as I walked in my hotel. Swear to God, somebody handed me $10,000 just for what? Just like a fan of what I do. Yo, here's 10 racks. Okay, got on a bus yesterday. Went to a little after. I didn't think anybody would know me. Got off the bus. Hollywood Unlocked. A billionaire gave me his phone number last night just from the work that I do on Hollywood Unlocked.
Wow.
So am I going to be mad that people on here want to attack me or label me or try to segregate me on the app? I don't give a fuck what these losers do. Keep on losing because I'm gonna keep on winning. As far as being the king of the dark side, yo, honestly, that I don't know if that was a joke, whatever. They had this election where they uh, they elected me as king of the dark side. Look, I just want to be the king of the internet. So if the dark side's a part of that, make me king there too.
That's
That
gotta,
part.
but yeah, that's gotta be major. Trying to, I guess, be that king of, or if they label you a king of dark side, that means you have to be a king of something. That means you had to have done some things in your career to make you the king of that. What do people point out with you when they say you the king of something? What are they saying that you're the king of when they say the king of dark side? What is it the king of though?
I don't even know, bro. I'm still learning the dark. What I understand is that the dark side. is like it's like Black Twitter for Bigo. I mean, for not for Bigo, for Clubhouse. But and I think that's important to make sure that people of color have their own spaces to amplify and elevate our issues and our interests. But I'm not into division. Like I really feel like, I have a lot of business partners. The owner of Fashion Nova, shout out to Rich. He's out here in Dubai. We had dinner the other night and we talked about how he was supportive of Hollywood Unlocked from the very beginning before big brands invested in us. And for him to put, hundreds of thousands of dollars into my company every year consistently without question, and to be able to, seek my partnership on things that nobody even sees, I think is dope. He's not a black man, but if I was just pushing this narrative that it's all about black and only about black, I would not be in partnership with him. And so I think that while it's important that we always put our issues first and our interests first, I definitely don't think we should be doing it in a way that segregates us from people who can help amplify our culture, and plant seeds or pour water on the seeds that we planted in order for our culture to grow.
Absolutely. And then with
DJ
you being a
Swag,
what's
DJ
what's up
Swag.
what's up,
Can
mama?
can we pause on that? Somebody just walked up and gave him 10 racks. Can we manifest that for ourselves in
I know that's
2022?
right.
I mean,
What
just
was that?
walking
I
up in a new
10
country and somebody
stacks.
gave him 10 stacks. Come on now, that's
What
amazing,
somebody got to do to do that, Jason? What is that?
right?
What is yeah? How do you get 10
Yeah,
Well,
stacks?
we
just
we
put
gonna
us on
say
that.
that's Mr. IRS man that's listening. It was allegedly 10 stacks.
Let's
Allegedly.
be clear, and
Talk that lawyer talk.
something that my friend Robin at Baller Alert taught me. She owns Baller Alert. She taught me a long time ago, and I never really talk about money. um, I just did that for context, but because the IRS is always listening. But thank God, IRS, if you are, I always report all my money. So don't ask here.
I know.
Um,
I know.
I think in order to do
Yeah,
that,
I got
I mean, building credibility, hard work, people knowing what you do. The fact that this guy who I didn't even know who this guy was. I mean, this guy who I met yesterday, the one that said, he followed me into Hollywood Unlocked. He had heard from somebody else at the party who I was and what I did. And this person I didn't even know was a billionaire, because if you see him on the street, you would definitely think he got a little bit of money, but you wouldn't have thought he was a billionaire. I think that you just build credibility, and when people know you, they'll invest in you and they'll support you. And I think out here, again, looking at the global market, when you work on the internet, don't just look in your city, don't just look in your state, don't just look in your country, but the whole world is literally your market. So me coming to Dubai for my first time and meeting some of the people that I've met and being able to be with somebody who's mentored me like a Floyd Mayweather and giving me that credibility and that and validation is helpful too, because as I expand my brand globally, I want to tap into Dubai Unlocked, London Unlocked, Africa Unlocked. There's so many opportunities for global expansion that, we just getting started.
Well, look. Also, I wanted to ask you, as a black creator, like you talk about your story where you put a lot of your money up to be able to start Hollywood Unlocked. Can you take me through what was the process like getting the type of backing, the type of support that you needed to be able to get where you are now with Hollywood Unlocked? What was some of that like? Because some of the people that you work with have been some of the most influential in your life. I know before I would get into your book with Queen Latifah and how you felt about that, how did you get started with Hollywood Unlocked?
I mean, I have always been a fan of popular culture, and just this, like you talked about, which I appreciate you doing research before asking me to have a conversation, because I feel like sometimes, like, I know when I'm in an interview or when I'm talking to somebody and they ain't really did no research, I'm like, okay, I see you. But yeah, I wrote a book. God must have forgot about me, and in the book I talk about early on being in foster care and seeing like the Michael Jacksons and the Princes and the Madonnas, and really falling in love with what at the time was superstars. Now every day, if now anybody today can become a superstar on the internet. One thing go viral, all of a sudden you're a superstar, but next week nobody knows you. Back in my day, everybody that was an artist was a superstar, and so I fell in love with just celebrity culture. And then ultimately, talking to Michael Jackson and, being able to meet Latifah and build that relationship with her, and her bringing me down to Burbank and allowing me to be on set of Living Single and being around. I talked to her the night she won her Grammy. I talked to her the night she got carjacked. You know what I mean? Like, being able to, like, peek into her world and not only be inspired by it and want to be a part of it, and have that same lifestyle. But also, I saw how she was very influential, and I wanted to have that influence because I grew up as a kid who oftentimes I think was forgotten about. And so, as I just continued to grow and become more inspired and end up in LA and saw the boom of digital media and social media, I was like, yo, I got to get into this tech shit. And I know enough people to figure it out. And I'm going to just lock into what I really am passionate about. And then I'm going to unlock Hollywood for everybody like she did for me. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to call it Hollywood Unlocked. Once I saw that it was the name was available, I'm like, fuck that. I'm going to just go for it. And then it just started growing. And then people bought into it. So.
Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I want to, pass it to T Rose, but before I pass it to T Rose, I want to thank everybody for coming to Trollz Nation, Trollz Nation, Trollz Nation. Man, we got the dopest, livest interviews and topics and everything on Clubhouse. Man, we the dopest room. Y'all already go up to the top, man. Become a VIP member by joining the club, man, and being able to follow some of the topics and hot conversations that we always have going on. Salute to everybody in the room. And if you have not noticed, the man, the myth, the legend is in the building. Jason Lee, creative of Hollywood Unlocked and big professional in Dubai, getting all them racks, man. All right. Welcome to Trollz Nation. I'm gonna pass it to T Rose. DJ Swag, 2Gs, what double dose of this goodness.
Hey.
Now, what's up, Jason? Definitely want to
You're a little low there,
Hey, that's
You
T
cap.
gotta fix
Rose.
your mic, T Rose.
Yeah, we can't hear you, T Rose.
Oh, can't hear me now?
Yeah,
We're
you
good.
Yes.
good now. Go ahead.
Okay, my bad. Jason, thanks for coming, bro. I know you're in Dubai and it's late, so we not gonna hold you for too long. But speaking of Hollywood Unlocked, man, I do want to know who are some of the people that inspire you to get into the media game. Like anybody that you looked up to, you was like, yeah, okay, I want to do that when I run my own business.
I mean, well, there's different aspects of the business, right? Because I started out as a blog, then it grew into a podcast,
Mm-hmm.
then it grew into national radio, then it grew into books. So authoring, I mean, it just continues to evolve. So I would say, like in talk space, I mean, I watched Oprah Winfrey every single day when I was younger. I watched Jenny Jones. I was on Ricky Lake. I watched the Tippis Bledsoe show. I watched Geraldo. I watched Sally Jesse Raphael, Phil Donahue. So I watched all the greats. Let me turn my TV down. So in watching all the greats, you know what I mean? And seeing how they were able to have conversations on various topics and shit, I wanted to do that. And then radio, Wendy Williams, fearlessness, So Oprah, she was pretty much like the pinnacle of global influence. She was the pinnacle of inspiration and thought provoking dialogue. Whereas on the radio, Wendy Williams was just the queen of talking her shit and didn't give a fuck, unapologetic, fearless. So I wanted to kind of be a bridge between the two because in media, people feel like you either got to be super messy or you got to be super inspirational. There's nowhere in the middle. And I was like, why can't I be in the middle? Then when I started looking at the diversity, the difference in like white media, black media. I started looking at Howard Stern. I'm like, yo, this nigga's messy, but he's also inspirational and funny, and he could do it all. And then I started discovering racism and classism in media and how certain people are allowed to do certain things, and some people get paid a lot more money than other people, and ownership versus employee. So it became a interesting experience, just the whole journey. But I would say Oprah, big inspiration. Wendy, definitely big inspiration. And now as I've evolved, I look at Howard Stern, I look at Wendy, I look at Ryan Seacrest, all of which are Andy Cohen, all of which are gods in their own right, for content creation.
Yeah, no, that's dope. That's dope. So once you got into the industry, like for the people on the outside looking in, a lot of people like dream to get into that position. You know what I mean? To be a part of that. When you got to the industry, did you see anything you was like, okay, this is not what I thought it would be like, or like, no, okay, it's a lot of crazy shit going on in the industry. It's not what I thought.
Absolutely. I mean, there are days where I'm over it, where I'm just like, yo, like I don't think it's a mistake because ultimately I love the industry that I'm a part of now. But there are days where I'm like, yo, man, fuck this shit is just, especially like yesterday. I'll give you an example, right? My staff here, I'm in Dubai, like having an amazing experience, and all day long, my staff were posting shit about Alexa Sky versus Akbar and going back and forth, back and forth. And I finally texted them and said, quit fucking posting about them. I don't want to hear it anymore. Sum it all up at the end of the day. Like, we need to save space for other shit that's happening because we speak to millions of people. And although that may be something that's going on, I don't think it needs to monopolize the whole space, the whole digital space today, you know? And so there are times when I feel like we're talking about people who shouldn't matter. And then I'm like, why? I'm not in this business of doing this. And then I have to think about, it's a company where the fans drive the business, and if thousands and thousands of people are going to come on a post and talk about it, we have to continue to feed them things that are going to spark conversation, because ultimately it's a numbers game, right? So it's this crazy thing where there are days I'm not inspired, but then there are days that I'll, be hanging out with somebody who I'm a fan of, or who motivates me or inspires me. I'm like, yo, this is why I'm in it. This is why I'm in it. So it's a weird thing, days I want to give up, but ultimately I do have a goal, and the finish line's not too far away. So
Okay, no, that's dope. That's dope. All right, so I'm gonna pass it to A Keezy. A Keezy is on you.
Hey, Jason Lee, this is Akeezy. So being nosy, Akeezy, I want to ask: is Jason Lee in a relationship, and how does that play a part in your career now?
Spicy.
Jason Lee is not in a relationship today. I could be in a relation tomorrow, and then I could be
Oh.
out of it again. But no, I'm not in a really. I haven't been in a serious relationship in 6 years, and I think part of the other thing that people have to understand, when you are building something like this, it's an extreme sacrifice that you have to be ready to take. So that means you have to give yourself permission to be selfish. You have to give yourself permission to be unapologetically selfish. That means family's going to suffer. That means relationships are going to suffer, but it was the trade-off for me. Now I'm in a space where I am exploring relationship opportunities, but I mean, we live in a world now where everybody's out for clout. You don't know what's real. Motherfuckers trying to use you.
Yes,
People
yes.
want to be in a relationship with Cardi B so they get to meet me, so they can try to meet her. I'm like, yo, what the fuck, So no, I'm single today, but it may change tomorrow.
Okay, okay. I had another question. As far as the whole industry stuff and interviewing people, who would you say would be your worst person you interviewed that you wouldn't interview again?
Boot Gang. I know he's changed his life allegedly. I interviewed him. And probably will never interview him again. He pulled a gun on me in the interview. But
No
the thing
way.
about it was, yeah, the thing about it's still on the internet. One of our most viewed videos, right? When we started the podcast, it was like, yo, let's start interviewing some of these fucking influencers, so that way we can get the numbers, because they're big on social media. So we started to interview some of them, and then he was one that they put out there, and then yeah, he pulled a gun on me in the interview. Kind of joking though, not like drew down on me, but still was like, and my response was just like, can you put that away so we can get started? Because this is stupid. But ultimately, if I want to interview, Rihanna or Mariah Carey, I got to be very mindful of who I'm selecting and how I'm selecting interviews, so that way it lines up with their brands too.
Right, right. So who would you say, if you somebody that you haven't interviewed already, who would you like to interview?
I mean, there's many people I want to interview: Rihanna, Mariah, Viola Davis, Oprah, Howard. I mean, there's a lot of people I want to interview. I can't wait.
That's dope. That's dope. I'm gonna go ahead and pass it to Phoenix. Thank you, Jason Lee.
Of course.
Hey, Jason. It's such an honor and a privilege to have you here, and we do appreciate your time. I actually have like three questions for you, so I'll try to get to them really
Sure.
quick. I heard you say during an interview one time, do the work, be recognized by the work, and then we can talk. So I think you were referring generally to like clout chasers. So I was just curious if you could expound on what you meant by that a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people who want to be wherever they want to be, right? Like for me, my goal of my definition of success for me in Hollywood Unlocked is if and when I sell the company for 500 plus million or $1 billion, right? So as I keep adding the layers back, looking like, okay, cool, I got to get into live streaming. I'm a live streamer now, but now I want to own a live streaming platform. So what does Hollywood Unlocked Live look like? Okay, I'm a partner over at the Zeus Network, hosting their stuff and advertising for them. What does Hollywood TV look like? How can I become my own network subscription? When I look at my fans, the Gag Nation, who support my show, how can I build out a merch line that's like literally everyday active, where that people can buy? And then what does that look like? And what are the goals, right? So when I meet people and they say, "Oh, I really want to do this. I really want to be an artist. I really want to be a model. I really want to do whatever they want to do." I'm like, "Yo, okay, that's great. Can you put me on?" No, I can't put you on. You got to put yourself on because we're all responsible for our own individual success. But oftentimes people want to do a shortcut. They want to shortcut the process and just quote get on. And I will tell you, those are the people that I absolutely don't even talk to, because if you're not willing to invest the time and put in the hard work to get to wherever your goal is, then why the fuck am I going to take away my time from my own race to invest in your shit? And so those people, I just kind of laugh at them, and it's sad because there's people that you really want to help because you see all the potential, but they have no interest to do the hard work of getting there, and they literally are giving up on themselves by having that kind of conversation. And I just literally move on, and it's unfortunate, but I don't even think about them anymore.
Well, I can appreciate the thinking about the sweat equity, and I think hearing you say that repeatedly maybe will help reinforce that for some people. Also, you during an interview, and hopefully this isn't a taboo question, but Kevin Hart had at one point made some remarks about his trainer and whether or not he owned a home. And I think that you found that a bit off putting. So I was curious what your personal formula is, or your position, or what is your strategy on breaking bread with your team? How do you share profits and things of that nature with your team?
Well, we don't share profits with the team. There are commission-based opportunities for the team on top of their salary to, make more money. But it all goes back to their hustle, right? And all of them sit at the same table. None of them are isolated from the table where we talk about money. They're all there when we're talking about raising money. They're there when we get the money that we raise. They're there when all the deals come in. They see the whole process. So all of them are exposed to it, and some of them choose to hustle on top of what they do, and some of them choose not to, right? But let me just unpack the Kevin Hart thing real quick because we're in a much different place than where we were when I did that. I was critical of him, but I will say that in retrospect and being able to like look at how far we've come and the conversations that we've had, Kevin, we want celebrities to show us who they are, like a Will and Jada opening up about their bedroom activities. But then once they do, we judge them and bash them or attack them. And so what I've learned with the whole more cappuccino, less tea is he's a human. He's going to say dumb shit, as we all will. We can unpack it and have an opinion about it, but also in a way that leaves it open for space to discuss it. And I think oftentimes when I was on my rise, like I was just trashing motherfuckers. Like my opinions were so colorful that it actually tainted the ability to get these conversations that I really wanted to have. So I've been very mindful now, like, okay, do I think it's a shit thing to say? Yes. You know, how do I articulate that invites a conversation with him to unpack how shitty it was, but allow him space to be human and both grow and discuss it so people can watch and can get all the narrative. Like we see it, but Jason talked to him and here's what happened. That I think is what Oprah did. Um, but I also think that when you are somebody's employee, you can't have the expectation of profit sharing because that's just not a natural expectation for anybody that has a job, right? I think early on, the people that started with me, you know, I did, gift them, a small portion of equity for their sweat labor because when they started, they were interns and I didn't have a budget. And that I think was a fair exchange, but ultimately, it's not something that's available to everybody walking in the door.
Awesome. Well, I promise this will be my very last question, but you brought up an important point, and I appreciate your remarks about Kevin Hart and how you have changed your perception of him. Transparency is something I think that is really important, and you have been transparent about trauma that you endured during your upbringing and being in foster care. So, just curious, what was it that prompted you to become public about your own personal trauma?
Well, when you're in the business of talking shit and spilling tea, it's better for you to spill your own tea than have somebody spill it, right? I'm not gonna wait. I'm not gonna wait to get rich and famous and known all over the world and trying to position my company for exit and then have a family member come out and say something or somebody, I used to date come out and trash me or say something. Like I'm gonna just put it all out there. And so that way I own myself. It's a certain level of freedom when you can put all your own business out there for people to digest and judge or whatever, than to fucking have somebody do it for me. It was the same, I think, for when I went to Wild and Out. I just saw Justina Valentine walking in. We just saw Justina.
Hey, boo.
When I went to Wild and Out, when I went to Wild and Out, like, I remember asking Nick Cannon, like, what the fuck do I do? Like, you got people like Justina who can rap her ass off. You have Chico and all these fucking comedians who are funny as shit. DC Young Fly. You know, like, I literally was very insecure, and I remember Nick saying, "Just be you," and I was like, "Okay, but what version of me?" Because, like, there's a version of me that I put out on Love and Hip Hop. There's a version of me I put out on my radio show. There's a version. He was like, "Just be you." I said, "Okay, well, shit, I'm gay and I could be messy." He was like, "Then be gay and messy." And then I literally started building all my shit around being gay and fucking being messy, but funny messy, and it literally helped me learn how to become more comfortable in my skin in a way that was unpredictable. Because with the show, you know, you don't know what Justina's going to say. You don't know what Big Baby or whoever's going to say. So you kind of got to be on your feet, but it allows you to be very transparent and be like the real you. And I think Wildin' Out was the first quote job I had in entertainment that allowed me to literally just be me and let people to see me.
Awesome. Thank you so much. You're simply amazing. I'm going to pass it back to DJ Swag real
Yeah.
quick.
Hey, thank you so much, Jason. I appreciate that. Trolls Nation, Trolls Nation, Trolls Nation. Y'all already know what it is, man. We in the building. The livest, the dopest club on Clubhouse, man, with all the topics, conversations, interviews, street legends, and all type of things, man. Y'all already know. We got the one, the only founder of Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee, in the building with us right now, and also a special guest on the stage with us. It's Justina Valentine from Wild 'N Out. Y'all know her as one of the dopest lady MCs out there doing her damn thing. Y'all give it up for her right
Ooh,
now. Yes, thank you so much
Shouts
for joining. I
out.
said, Jason,
thank you.
I wanted to talk to you real quick. Listen, I wanted to get into your new book. Well, before we get there, hold on. I wanted to talk about this first. We had one of our biggest moments here on Clubhouse between you and Karen Civil. And a lot of people may not know too much about that. And I don't want to get too much about that. But one of the things you said is that you can't sue her, but you want her to be held accountable. And I know if a lot of people weren't here for that whole Joyner Lucas and Karen Civil thing that we had here on Clubhouse, and then the fact that she may have had a hand in getting your account shut down. So where's that right now with you and Karen Civil?
I mean, we don't. I mean, for me, she's not in my universe anymore. You know what I mean? Like, she's literally just a non-factor. As far as her relationship with the industry, I'm sure there's still people eating with her because that's what parasites do. They feed each other, and you know, whatever. I wish her the best. Just far the fuck away from me. She did what she did, and it was Perez Hilton that called me and said, "Yo, man, just like let it go. It ain't worth giving it any energy. Stay focused on what you're building because you're killing it." And you know, the industry and everybody sees her now, so they see who she is. They see what she's about. And in many ways she validated the anger that I have for so many years from what she did, because she wasn't just, you know, attacking Jason for writing a truth about her, at least if somebody else saw it. But she literally tried to shut down um, uh, a main pulse to the Black Lives Matter movement and to the issues that are important to Black people all over the fucking world. So I think it was reckless, but I also think that it was a great setup to the e-courses that I have coming out, because e-learning is a part of our Hollywood Unlocked trajectory. So it's now a great setup to being able to educate people on not only how to get in the business like me, but how to master it and how to make money, but also how to protect it. So, you know, in many ways, the silver lining is it was a great setup for what's to come. But do I think she should be held accountable and go to jail? Of course. Anybody that commits a cybercrime like that and that doesn't play by the rules deserves every consequence they can get. So I don't know where my attorneys are in it. I know she reached out to talk to me, but there's really nothing to talk about. Like, you went on the Breakfast Club after my interview. You basically said you love the color orange, so you're not worried about going to jail. Like, those are the type of people that need to lose everything, like to be humbled, so that way, you know, the world or God or the universe can bring you to your knees and make you fucking eat it, so that way you learn how to be a better person because she's not a good human being, and I'm glad that the world sees it.
Wow. Wow. Okay. You heard it first right here, Trollz Nation. Hey, my last question, and then I'm going to pass it to A Keezy for a couple of back channel questions. I don't want to keep you too much longer, Jason, and I
I'm
really
good.
appreciate you
I'm
for being
enjoying
here, you
this.
and Justina.
I'm enjoying this.
All right. Thank you. One of the things you said was you said something like start from nothing, and I've heard that you started out in the foster care system, and then now you've moved on to writing a book where it says God must have forgotten about me. What's the correlation between those two?
I mean, when you're a foster kid growing up in stranger care with a bunch of people that you don't know and you don't know when it's going to be over, you don't know when you're going to go home to your family. You don't know why you're not with your family. You know, I have 10 siblings and I was the only one to go to foster care. So when you're in that kind of situation and then you're seeing all this drama around you, because remember, like I was going through my shit, but then there were a lot of people in the foster care. There were other kids, sometimes up to 14 kids in a house, and they're all going through their shit. So when you're dealing with your drama, you're also dealing with their drama and their trauma, and then that's triggering for all the shit you're working through. And then to do it at such an early age, at from 8 to 14, it's a long time that you gotta go through that. So in many ways, I felt like God, who I had a strong, I had become very familiar with in foster care and all that, and strong in faith. I started to lose it because I'm like, damn, like, where's my blessing? Where is it? But now that I've gone through all that and I look at it, and when I wrote the book, the reason I wanted to title it that way is because every time I started writing the stories, I started thinking like that's what I was feeling at the time. And there's a lot of people, I think, especially when I wrote the book, that were going through things where there was just a ton of despair, where they felt like, oh my God, life is never going to get better, because they were very much just looking at their life through the lenses of where they sat at the time. I'm like, yo, life and situations are so fucking temporary that if you stay focused and invested in what you're going through, you're not going to see the blessing that's either waiting for you or that's coming. And so when I wrote the book, God Must Have Forgot About Me, I'm like, yo, people are going to be triggered by that because I know we've all felt that way. And then when they read the book, they'll learn in the end, the silver lining is that he's never forgotten about you. It's just life. And you work through it. And, what doesn't break you does make you stronger. That's more than a cliche. It's real life shit.
I love that.
I
And
love that too, man. Appreciate that, Jason. Thank you for answering some of them questions. I'm gonna pass it to A
No
Keezy.
problem.
A Keezy there.
I think Nika had a question.
So I was just going to ask you, Jason. I could tell that you and Tiffany Haddish have a close bond, and you likely have it for lots of different reasons. But as I was just thinking and hearing you talk about your background in foster care, I know that I've heard her talk about her background in foster care. Do you all connect or at all about that piece of your life? Is that part of that bond and connection that you guys have?
Yeah, my bonding connection with her, just on first of all, I'm a master manifester, and I believe in the power of manifestation. So if anybody's in this room not believing in manifestation, like, you really need to fucking chill out and you need to tap into that shit. I told the story. I went to the movie theater to watch um Girls Trip because I wanted to support Latifah. Because again, I may not talk to Latifah every day, or every week or every month, but I support every single thing she does because she, for many reasons, helped me to be a survivor after my brother was murdered. I've talked about that in the book. But I went to go watch Latifah and I fell in love with Tiffany. I was like, yo, her personality, her drive, like her attitude, like everything about her. I started watching all her interviews. I was like, yo, that's the type of energy that I want to be around. That's what I fell in love with as a fan of popular and celebrity culture. So I just said, yo, I want, and then I brought my whole team back to watch it. My whole team, I was like, yo, look at her. She's fucking funny. Then I came back with my friends. I'm like, yo, she's fucking funny. So I said to myself, like, yo, I want to be friends with her, and one day I was at a party for Fashion Week, and they were like, yo, Tiffany Haddish is here. She's on the dance floor. I'm like, for real? I went out there and she was fucking the dance floor up. And we danced, and then I told her I was a fan of her work, and she gave me her number, and then we immediately started hanging out, and we just hit it off. I mean, very much both dreamers, both come from a place that nobody would understand or believe. Both have drive and ambition. Both had people shit on us, close to us and otherwise. And then when I interviewed her, we did a live interview, and I had my friend from Fashion Nova donate $10,000 to her foundation, She Ready Foundation, which helps foster kids. And we talked a lot about that. Then we both went on and did Keisha Cole's show on Fox Soul, where we both talked about foster care. All three of us were talking about being adopted at one point or in foster care. And then we're now talking about, starting well, we've been having conversations about starting our own foster care home, a chain of foster home.
Wow.
And we're
That would
talking
be
about,
cool.
and yeah, we're talking about like I'm exploring charter schools and being able to help kids that are in communities who aren't driven or motivated to get an education, be motivated by general ed. I mean, by elective courses that where they can learn how to be a studio engineer, they can learn how to be a whatever in the business. So yeah, we've been having lots of conversations, and she does a lot of amazing work. And we talk about foster care and have talked to foster kids all the time.
That's so dope.
I work with a lot of foster kids. I'm a survivor of sex trafficking, and I advocate and mentor survivors, our youth that are survivors of sex trafficking. And a lot of our clients are foster kids, and I see a great need for emergency shelter, because there's nowhere for them to go in between time. So I've even thought about just doing an emergency shelter within my own home, just so I know they have a safe place in between time. So I love that.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like with life in general, when you go through shit, it's your obligation to give back. You should feel a sense of obligation. I think when you live in a world where you want the world and God and the universe to bless you with everything and bless you abundantly, but then you secretly don't want to give anything back. Why the fuck do you think you're gonna get blessed with shit? Like if you think you're just gonna get blessed with everything, like there's only so many Trumps in the world who can fucking get everything and then not give it back to anybody or just keep taking, right, but like I feel like if you're genuinely a good person, you should be obligated or feel obligated to give back. And that's another thing I love about Tiffany. Like she's very much a person who believes in helping other people and particularly people of color, and so yeah, I think it should be a part of everybody's thing. And I'll say that I just helped get the mayor of my hometown elected, and now we're working on some stuff. But then now I'm working with the congresswoman in LA, Karen Bass, to get elected as mayor of LA because I want to have my passion is Hollywood Unlocked, but my purpose is helping people, and so now I want to like be able to get deeply rooted in my communities to be able to do that. And again, that's something I think everybody should want to do.
That's dope too, Jason. I would say when you said Karen Bass, the first person I thought about was Carol Baskin.
No,
Because she's
no,
on the app too,
yeah,
but she's
we're
funny.
not getting the Tiger Queen in nothing, but she's a Kiki though.
Well, I want to thank the ladies for giving those good questions and for those ideas as well. We have a bunch of back channel questions, Jason. I'm sure you get tired of the love and hip hop questions, but we got a few, so I'm just gonna go ahead and read some off, and then you can answer what you want. But I see it says, what was your most memorable moment of being part of the Love and Hip Hop? And do you think that you would continue to do Love and Hip Hop?
The best memory of Love and Hip Hop was when they let me out of my contract. And no, I won't be going back to Love and Hip Hop. That's a chapter of my life that was an important part of my journey, but it was also a very important part of my self discovery. And yeah, I mean, if I was to ever go back to do anything with the show, would be go back in the capacity that I'm in now as a host and host the reunions. But they don't do reunions anymore, so yeah, I just don't see it happening. But I do want to say I do appreciate all the support I get, and it's a huge show that I get recognized all over the world for. Even last night in Dubai, somebody, hey, just Jason Lee from Love and Hip Hop and Hollywood Unlocked, and but now I get seen as more of Jason Lee from Hollywood Unlocked, but people always bring up Love and Hip Hop, and I do understand like people love the show, but it's just not who I am today.
Right. Okay. So another Love and Hip Hop question. Who was your most favorite person to work with in the whole Love and Hip Hop franchise?
I mean, Nikki Baby was cool because I enjoyed hanging out with her off the show, but I was never really friends with those people, because it was like work. And I've never, and Justina will tell you, even at Wild 'N Out, I don't be like hanging out like that, really. I just do what I need to do and I go to my room or I go home and I go to my other job, I mean, and I think Justina, you're pretty much the same way, right? I mean, you don't really be hanging out.
Nah, I don't be hanging out. I don't drink during the season, nothing. But Jason's so funny because he'll walk off, the stage from performing and already be on his phone taking a call, handling business. Like he'll do that in between segments. So he's literally working, while we're resetting for the next game. So it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'd be there because I always bring my phone with me on the stage because shit be going down. I'm like, who did what? What they do? Oh wait, we gotta go. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay, but yeah, like, and then or I gotta do a podcast or I gotta go to my room and review some agreements or something. Like I was always working, and then when I did Wild 'N Out the last time I was there, I was also shooting Love and Hip Hop in LA at the same time. So I was doing the show, going to LA, and then we shoot Wild 'N Out like 2, 3 weeks. So it's, 3 episodes a day. I mean, Justina's on every single show. Thank God I wasn't. But you're trying to do one, sometimes we have 2 shows a day and then you're trying to do your podcast or you're trying to, schedule your shit. Like it was a lot going on. But again, I loved the opportunity. It's just, you got to know when it's time when you outgrew something, I don't want to be Jason Lee from Love and Hip Hop forever. Like, and I'll tell you, like, when I do interviews, I always tell my people, like, I don't want to talk about Love and Hip Hop. They wanted to do something on me in GQ. I just lost 120 pounds. My fashion game is crazy right now. At least I think it's crazy.
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
know what? I finally can fit all this shit. But GQ wanted to interview me, and all the questions were about Love and Hip Hop. So I just canceled the interview. I'm like, yo, I don't want to. Like, it's a good look, but if you're just talking to me about shit I did 6 years ago, then you're basically showing my audience or exposing me to a new audience that will know me as something that I've outgrown. So yeah.
Yeah, no facts. Well, we have a bunch of more love and hip hop questions. I'm not gonna ask you then, but as far as meeting people on Clubhouse or people that you meet, via YouTube or whatever, not really in person. I guess in person as well. But do you kind of do your research on them prior to interviewing them? And you get a lot of frauds and stuff like that. So like, do you kind of look into them before, or you kind of you already have a set idea of people that you fuck with?
You mean people I'm going to interview?
Yeah, like do you kind of just like even people on Clubhouse that you meet and they're like, "Hey, I'm this big old crypto guy or I'm this real estate investor," or do you actually like?
Um, no, I'll say like when I'm doing an interview because I interview people that I know and I like. I don't. I have somebody that produces and so they'll do their research. Not too long ago, we started this whole thing called Black Brands Matter because I really wanted to give space for Black entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs in general, but particular Black entrepreneurs to be able to get interviews or buy advertising with me where I can sit down with them and really explore their brand. And there was this one person who did that. And, she paid a lot of money to be able to get me to interview her and support her and help her market her business. And I did. And in the interview, she told a story about how this white woman was trying to destroy her company and this and that. And without investigating or knowing it or whatever, I took a hard line because of my passion for supporting Black businesses. And I said, some stuff that was very aggressive towards this person I didn't know. Well, come to find out, the person that I was interviewing and the person who was buying advertising was a scammer. And
Wow.
the person that she was going after was somebody that was revealing her scams and trying to keep their space protected. So I had to remove all of the posts. I had to, of course, distance myself from the person, not allow them to advertise with us anymore. But it was a lesson for sure that one, remain unbiased because that's my job in those type of settings. And then, but also if I'm going to take on a brand or person that I don't know, I do have to dig a little deeper. I do have to do some research. And so it was a lesson. Again, I don't take it as a L. I take it as a lesson. And definitely something that made me better.
Do you have any regrets? I'm at like all the things that you went through. Do you have any regrets looking back at it?
No, because Um, no, I mean, you go through shit in life. People make us regret shit because they say, "Oh, we're not going to work with you because of what you did." Okay, well, I regret doing it. Oh, I'm not going to date you because you was a hoe. Okay, well, I regret being a hoe. No, I was a hoe. I was all types of shit. I was not perfect. I'm still not perfect. But it also feels really, really good, and it validates me. Like even tonight, we're like on the rooftop at our hotel, and we're smoking hookah and drinking coffee and talking. And somebody came over to me who I don't think really believed in me when I first started. And they were like, I just want to tell you, I'm really proud of you. And I'm kind of shaking their hand, but not really looking in their face because I'm like, you were one that should have believed in me and didn't. And they literally were like, can you look at me when I say this? And I looked at him and he said, I want you to hear, I truly, truly respect what you've built. And I want to tell you, I see the work and I'm very proud of what you've done. And it felt good to hear that because there were a lot of people who doubted what I was building. And now that our valuation came out and now that we're getting ready to go into the next chapter of everything and they see we're getting ready to fucking kill it, they're coming around. But this is where, going back to your original question, like we have to slow down sometimes and really pay attention to the people we're talking to because you might run across a scammer and move too fast, but you also may run across somebody who's going to have global influence in a lane that you may need, and they're going to remember how you doubted them or didn't pay attention to them or didn't acknowledge their hard work when they were on their rise. And that's why oftentimes when I meet people, if you show me that you're lazy or mediocre and that's what you want to be, I'm going to let you be that. I'm just not going to let you share space with me. But at the same time, I also know as somebody who has had a lot of challenges raising money in a world where there's climate like racism or discrimination or whatever. And I also know how hard the journey has been, and so I also want to be mindful of that. But it's just being present and being very aware at all times, and then you'll get your flowers later eventually.
Hey, Jason Lee. Hey, this is CEO Reek. How you doing, man?
I'm good. I saw the hallways where they were saying you got kicked out and it was some bullshit.
Yeah, man. They be going crazy on me on here, Jason. I don't know why. But,
Huh.
uh,
It's all good.
thank you for coming, man.
Talking about
I was told
scammers.
5 o'clock, but I see we had to start early, so I just got that message. So my bad for my
Yeah.
late attendance, but I'm gonna go ahead and reset the room. Hey, welcome to Trolls Nation. If you're new to the room, welcome. This is the Trolls Nation room on the Clubhouse app. If you on stage and artists would like to come up or you want to stay on stage, don't act bougie. Go ahead and troll up top. Hit the greenhouse. Join the club. Follow the moderators on stage. You see what's going on. Hollywood Unlocked, Jason Lee, Invades Trolls Nation. So, man, I imagine they didn't hit you with most of all the questions and things like that. So, how did you like the Q&A so far, man? Has it been good energy, good vibes, good questions?
No, it's great. It's great. That's why I say I can spend some more time here. It's 5 a.m. over here, but I thought I was coming over here to get trolled. I came in here ready. I went and fucking had coffee, drank me some water. I hydrated. I didn't know. I didn't know what the
We
temperature was gonna
respectable
be. So
You
trolls.
did the right
You
thing.
caught us on the chill
yeah,
day.
nah,
You caught
nah.
us on the chill day.
Hey, listen. Like I said, I'm with all the smoke. This shit can go left at any moment. I'm ready. I'm locked in. But nah, so far it's been cool.
No, we're good trolls. We're good
No, that's
trolls.
what's up.
Jason Lee's in Dubai, Reek.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. That's what's up. Um, yeah, man. So shit, what's going on, man? What's new?
Nothing. I mean, just bringing in the new year. Like I said earlier, like expanding the business globally has always been something I wanted to do. Dubai was definitely on the checklist of places I wanted to go. COVID kind of fucked up a lot of travel, but coming out here is great. And and being able to come out here with somebody who has a lot of influence, not just on me but on the world. Meet a lot of amazing people I probably wouldn't have met on my own. At least not right now. It's been good. So I just going into the new year really focus on how to continue to build that global presence because again I was saying like looking at your city, looking at your state, looking at your country, it's important, but also looking at money all around the world. You got people who are in oil in Africa or in Dubai or in Saudi Arabia. You got people who are in big tech and media all over the world. So why not open yourself up to the whole world so that way your bags aren't limited to your neighborhood. And I think coming out here has just really inspired me. I've met people in Paris from here. I've met people from London over here. So just continuing to focus on building those tentacles as I move forward in the new year.
No, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, um, what did you do in order to, like, why do so many people know you? What steps did you take to get on TV and to get into these places? What was your steps? Because a lot of people know you. Like when they said you were on the app, everyone went crazy. Me, I don't watch television that much, so it's a lot of stuff, a lot of artists, a lot of people. I just haven't, you know what I mean? I just haven't watched or anything like that. So, what was your big break in Hollywood or in media um, that got your name buzzing? Yeah, yeah. Can y'all hear
He's
me?
probably on. Yeah, he on
Oh
mute.
Yeah.
shit,
You're muted.
shit. My ass was on fucking mute. Here I am. Okay. I said I think the main thing I think that people noticed me was when, unfortunately, when I threw the drink on Hazel E. You know, they were like, "Yo, who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this messy? This fuck him. I want him to die. He's this and that." I think that's when people were like, "Wow!" Like I came to loving hip hop in a way that was just real and authentic. I came in dropping the T quote, you know, telling everybody what was real. People who were on there acting like they were rich, I was telling them how broke they were. People who said they was popping, I was reminding them that they weren't. You know, I was humbling people, but I was also just being me. And I feel like early on, people just saw like, yo, he's different. He's definitely saying some way out shit. He definitely doing shit, you know, that's different. And people started paying attention. And then I think when I did the podcast and it was unfiltered, people really fucked with it and fucked with me. And then, you know, as a, you know, but I still have a lot of work to do. A lot of people don't. I mean, not everybody knows who I am. I mean, most guys, your girl's gonna know who I am from Love and Hip Hop. Most guys, you're gonna know me from Wild 'N Out. People who are in the media and social media or blogging world or want to be, whether they're fans of it or aspiring to be, going to know me and hopefully respect me because they've seen the hustle. And then if you're a fan of all these people that I've interviewed, you've seen their interviews. So I think the podcast has done great for me, really getting out there because you know I've gotten calls from, you know, Lady Gaga saw your interview when you said this, or you know, so and so was watching this, or just the other day, Lettucey texted me about the Tiffany interview. You know, so you never know who's watching, and people, everybody, celebrities watch Wild 'N Out, and they watch Love and Hip Hop, and so yeah, I think there were just different moments that has just expanded the brand. But once I started diversifying all my lanes, not only did I open up bags on tops of bags on tops of bags, but it's like, yo, I need to live everywhere. I need to live on every fucking app. I need to live and master every fucking lane that I touch. And I think as you continue to expand, you know, you on the radio, everybody's in their cars hearing you. They go home, they turn on the TV, they see you. They go on their Instagram, there you are. They go to TikTok, you're there. You're on Facebook, there's a story. Like you just want to be everywhere. And I figured that out fairly quickly.
What's your goal? You trying to be the, you know what I mean, Mansa Musa? What's your ultimate goal? Getting on all these damn platforms. Why does your name and face and likeness got to be everywhere? What's the goal?
Because you can't be the king of the internet if you ain't everywhere on the internet. You know what I mean? Like
That's right.
I will say that the one thing that I don't do well is, but I think it's a good thing, is I don't have to come on the app or on everywhere and tell everybody, yo, I'm better than you. I'm this, I got all this money. I'm fucking my house is that, my car. What? I think that is so loser. But I will say we live in a world that is dominated by that type of shit. That's the shit we post on Hollywood Unlocked. It's the world, right? That we unfortunately live in. But the real reason why I do it, to be quite frank with you, is that I bootstrap my company with all my money, all my own money for the most part. You know, and I own 97% of my company. But in order to retain that type of ownership and not take a lot of money up front and give away your control, means you got to make a lot of money and you got to pour it all back into your business. So there were times that I wanted to go buy a Rolls Royce and I could have afforded it, but why go buy that Rolls Royce when I can hire two more employees and triple my profit margins, you know, and be able to increase my valuation in the middle of a pandemic from 17 million to 30 million, and then be able to attract other people. Cause again, my end game is sell this motherfucker, make, you know, 500 plus million or a billion, depending on what I add to it. And then exit with at least 50% ownership. So that way I can, if I sell the company for 1.5 billion, I can take half of that. You know, if I sell the company for 500 million, I still have 250 million, and it's still a lot of money that I can invest and keep flipping, you know? So that's why I do it.
Yeah, nah. So yeah, money, man. You know they say money solves all things. So shit, it don't hurt to
No,
have it.
no, no, don't believe that. Floyd told me early on, uh, because he's like, you're gonna get the house, you're gonna get the cars, you're gonna get the jewelry, you're gonna get all that, but it's not gonna make you happy. It's not gonna change you. I promise you. And I'll tell you this, once you start making all the money, then the hate starts happening. Then the friends close to you start changing, making you think you changed. Then people start trying to throw shit on you that don't belong, or people hating on you, or not acknowledging your hard work, or trying to take advantage of you. Like, it gets worse. Money don't do anything but show you who you really are on a magnified level, but it also shows you who people really are around you.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I feel that. Um, yeah, man. Oh, hey, refresh your screen, man. Look at my PTR. You can screenshot that, man. I thought it would be cool to put a smile on that face, man. You always got the gangster look pose and shit going on, man. Put a smile on
Uh, hilarious, hilarious. Yeah.
it.
So let me break this down for you, right? Like the drink that I'm taking a picture of. That's a drink that did an endorsement deal with me, Poppy. It's a really dope drink. And then We the Culture is the program at Facebook that I'm joining the board in. That's giving it's investing $1 billion into Black creators this year. So as much as that's a picture where I love wearing my Versace because I'm Versace Poppy. Poppy's the drink that I'm endorsing, and then We the Culture is a committee that is really important to me. So, and a program that's important to me.
Oh, that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey, so I got a question from Jaya. Jaya, you there?
Yeah, yeah, I'm here.
All right, go ahead. It's on you, buddy.
What's going on, Jason? It's Jai. I'm one of the mods over there in Sleepless in LA.
Yeah, whatever.
We appreciate having you whenever you come by. And I know out here in America, it's like loud and proud, but over there in Dubai, their rules are a little different as far as just public displays of affection, homosexuality, things of that nature. Have you ran into any issues since you've been in Dubai, being that you are proudly and openly gay?
No, but I was very much made aware of the rules of the country, and very much made aware of what is publicly acceptable and not. And when you in Rome, do as Rome do. Like, I can still be very proud and very gay, but I don't need to run around the streets of Dubai and say that I'm very proud to be gay. If somebody asked me here if I was gay, I would tell them. And somebody has asked me here if I was gay, and I did tell them. But I'm also not going to go to jail or go to prison or be in trouble for doing things that are not, welcomed in this country. It is not my country, and I know how to still be true to who I am without risking my freedom or my life. So yeah, I mean, I'm proudly who I am in all of that, but I don't really believe my sexuality needs to be at the forefront of who I am as a person. So I'm a smart businessman. I'm very connected. I have a lot of influence. I have a lot of access to a lot of powerful people, and I let that kind of lead who I am. The sexual thing is not something that you need to be familiar with unless we gonna fuck. And there ain't nobody out here that I plan on fucking, so I ain't worried about it.
Oh man, appreciate
Oh,
that.
so we got a Jet Stream. You there, Jet Stream?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Go ahead, man. The question's on you.
Hey, Jason, I just want to know, was there any other media personalities that influenced you while you were coming up?
Yeah, I mean, Oprah, definitely. Wendy, definitely. Charlemagne, definitely. Yeah, I mean, a lot of those people did. Charlemagne, when he first started, looking at where he was and where he is now, like, he's grown a lot. He's evolved a lot, and he's having the same viral experience, but doing it in a very different way, and that's where, it's kind of tricky because now that I'm in my process of self discovery, and, when you fall in love with yourself from a standpoint of healthy mind, healthy spirit, healthy soul, healthy body, your energy changes. You don't want to be around negativity or negative people or negative thoughts or talk about negative things all the time. So, I'm in my journey now where he's evolved, and I really like that because when I look at a Charlemagne, I don't just look at how crazy is what he's saying or how crazy is his interview, or how crazy is this moment. I look at like the growth, the evolution of a person. Wendy Williams, you know, evolving from radio to TV and what that looked like. Because again, the nuances of this business is not just understanding how to talk shit, but how to transition and how to keep people connected. And, you know, when I get into e-learning, are people going to see me as a teacher? Are they going to see me as somebody who can actually master what they do to be able to invest in their own shit by purchasing my shit, you know? So now that I'm transitioning to e-learning, you know, what does that Jason look like? You know, is my audience going to show up for that? You know, am I focused on my audience, or am I looking for the e-learning audience, you know, or am I looking for the bridge between both? So it's a constant review of all the people who are in my space, and not just being fans of their work, but also looking at like, you know, how they actually pivoted and grew. And unlike a lot of them, I own all my shit, you know? So that's the other thing. Like, I'm not just evolving as a brand that's controlled by big business or by the dollars from different brands. Like, I'm literally the CEO of my own life, doing it with the fuck, how the fuck I want. But now I want to transition and get to bigger bags. So what does that look like? But how do I still stay connected to the culture in the way that I am now? So it's a constant evolution of looking at what everybody else is doing, but not letting them totally drive how I do what I do.
No, that's dope. No, that's dope.
Reek, you still there?
I do have a question
Okay.
because I remember you was bringing up wilding out. So my question to you is, um, what is it about Nick Cannon? Like, how do you feel about Nick Cannon as a person?
I think Nick is one of the most generous black people that I've ever met in the business that actually believes in putting on other black people. He literally is everything that we all should aspire to be when it comes to looking out for our people. You know, he has created jobs for a lot of people. He's you know, created opportunity. Like, I interviewed him on my podcast, and I said, "Hey Nick, I'm fucking not going back to Love and Hip Hop, but I still believe I should be on TV. Can I get a job at Wild 'N Out?" Literally trolling him. And he looked at me and said, "You rap?" I said, "No." He said, "You dance?" I said, "No." He said, "You funny?" I said, "I think I am." He was like, "Okay, cool, done." And I literally didn't even think about it anymore. I went to Hawaii. I talked about this in my book. And then he texted me when I got back. Literally, the only text I had on that flight, he texted me and he says, uh, "Are you ready?" And I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Check your email." And I had a contract, and, you know, and he was offering me 5 seasons, my first out the part, like seasons out the box. And so I again, it just reinforced the power of manifestation and the power of words and the power of opportunity. So Nick Cannon, you know, is that. But then Nick Cannon, the person, is just like everybody else. He has his flaws. You know, he's a person who, in spite of having lupus, a very debilitating disease, he gets up every day and continues to put on for his kids and put on for his family and put on for the people that support him. And when he was fired from CBS, even with CBS contracts,
NBC.
I was I was one of the first. You said
Mm-hmm.
NBC? No, Viacom
Oh, okay,
CBS.
that, yeah, yeah, I got you.
He didn't get fired from NBC. He's not. He's on Fox. But anyway, I was one of the first people to publicly support him, because ultimately, like, this nigga wrote for all of us, and it's taboo in the industry to write against a network because you can lose so many opportunities. But if you write for me, I'm gonna write for you. I don't give a fuck what I lose, because I'm gonna gain respect from a lot of other people that got food to feed me. So I'm not gonna just, you know, shade you out. I think Nick is a human being, but ultimately at the core of it all, I think he's a great person.
No, that's dope. That's dope. So, like, with all that hate that you've been getting and misconceptions, do you think that Wild 'N Out showed a different side of you? Because I feel like it did. I feel like it showed your personality and you actually being funny on the show. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, it only let me be funny and let people see that I was not just one way. It allowed me a space to publicly be gay for entertainment in a way that allowed people to see themselves in a space that they never saw. I mean, you never saw comedians doing gauge shit on Wild 'N Out, on Def Comedy Jam. And so if I want to be a trailblazer, I gotta do shit that moves my community forward. That I have to live in my purpose turn my passion into purpose. How do I do that? So I think it allowed people to see me as a me as a person, but also allowed people like me to see themselves on TV too. And there are lots of people that are coming to me and say, "Yo, when you told Hitman Holla you could teach him how to swallow, nigga, you crazy? That shit was wild as." I mean, I have gangs like niggas in the street coming up to me telling me my gay ass jokes, and this shit be funny as fuck because I'm like, "Yo, you not a nigga that would ever have this conversation with your niggas on the block." But I'm sure you niggas called each other like, "Did you see what that gay ass nigga said? That nigga told Hitman Holla if he taught him how to taught him how to whatever, he'll teach him how to swallow." Yo, that shit to me be having me dying. Yo, like when, and I get uncomfortable when like niggas come to me, straight niggas come to me like, "Yo, my nigga, I just got out of prison, nigga. I saw your wilding out shit." I'm like, "Oh shit, this nigga finna let me have it." And he be like, "Yo, hey, yo, I fuck with you, yo." Even Whack 100, he'll always give my flowers and say, "Why I fuck with you is because you live in your truth and you are who you are, and I respect that you show the world for who you are." And yeah, I think Wilding Out allowed me to do that for sure. And all the people around me, Justina, all the comedians, like really helping me feel comfortable when I doubted myself and when I tried to quit. I remember one day I was in my room literally in tears because I, for the first time, was really about to give up on myself and just quit because I was really afraid to go out there and fuck up. I'm like, yo, I'm about to be on stage with DC Young Fly, one of the funniest, fucking craziest, wildest people ever. And I knew there were a lot of people who were uncomfortable with me being gay coming on the stage because they knew I was gonna do gay jokes, you know. And I was very unapologetic about it. Like, yo, y'all niggas don't apologize for fucking the wild, saying that you fucked the wild and out girl. So why would I feel unapologetic for saying I'm gonna make you swallow? What's the difference? Like, let's talk about it, you know. And ultimately I think it paid off because we won a VMA for me kissing Bobby Lights on the show. First time that ever happened. And you know, we continue to be an example to people who are underrepresented.
No, that's dope. And definitely congratulations for that VMA award. So I am going to ask you a controversial topic, right? I know you've been keeping up with the Megan and the Tory Lanez case, and I know that you have your outlook on it. But with all the details that's coming out now, have your your decision changed as far as how you look at it?
No, because I'm not in it. It's not my thing. It's their thing. I recently reconnected with Megan. And you know, when I see some crazy shit, I text her what I see, and I've connected with Tori. And when I see some crazy shit, I text them what I see. And I do want to interview them both whenever they can talk. I'm becoming more interested in seeing what these court documents that are sealed are saying because you know I'm not going to publicly persecute or prosecute Tory Lanez until I see the facts. But as the facts roll out and then the facts have become what they become, then of course I'm going to take a position on it. But you know, I'm not heavily invested in did he do it, did he didn't do it. I want to know like everybody else, did he do it? I mean, I haven't. I heard that he said dance bitch and shooting at her, but I haven't seen the document. Uh, so I need to see what the document says. Who said it? Did Megan say it? Because I don't believe shit Kelsey say. You know. But again, I'm watching it like everybody else. I can't say who shot Meg, but I can't say he didn't shoot her either because I don't know.
No, that's true. That's true. So with that being said, first you taking that position, do you feel like it's unfair that all this scrutiny that he's getting?
I think as black men, we are all there's two things going on here, right? As black men, we're always guilty before the facts are presented to the community, to the world, to white folks, to just everything. Then on the other hand, protect black women is a real thing. So it's like you have to be somewhere in the middle when you really don't know. And but I'm not like heavily invested in Tory Lanez or heavily invested in Megan where that has swayed my opinion because I'm just kind of like but I'm also very much like anti-cancel culture because I've done a lot of shit that if I had a job at CBS or if I had a job as an employee somewhere, I would have fucking lost everything already because the shit I be saying sometimes just is not cool for that standard. You know, like Viacom CBS, they don't want to, you know, they don't want to get behind somebody that says some of the shit I've said, but that's why they're just one piece of the pie. They're not the whole pie. I don't know who shot Meg. I'm not saying Tori did or didn't. That's for the courts to say. I'm just gonna keep reporting what the courts say.
No, thank you, appreciate it. I'm gonna pass it to DJ Swag.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Hey, look. Well, just one controversial topic, which is about Nicki Minaj, Barb's, and that whole situation of you coming up with some things about Kenneth Petty and his sex offender situation. Have you cleared it up with Barb's and her whole situation, her whole fan club?
I don't clear up anything for anybody because
All
not
right,
my job.
y'all not cool no more.
No, I mean it's not about being cool or not cool. Like I have a job to do, and people understand that my job is my job. And I honestly hate even talking about her or those people because it becomes a moment for social media, and honestly, like the work I'm doing is so much more important than that. I don't hate anybody. I just don't spend time investing in any space that doesn't take my career or elevate my brand any further. So for 2022, I don't even want to talk about that fan base. I wish them the best though. They have a lot of work to do.
Okay, we'll just keep it there. Last thing I wanted to talk about, which was your book. I would encourage people to go out and definitely grab your book. Why should people read this book? Some things have been said about you as far as like being a catalyst of controversy, and then you open up in this book to be so vulnerable. Talking about your mom and her struggle with addiction, your father and him being emotionally absent, and then your punctuation on the abuse and the murder with your close loved one and things like that. Why should people read this book?
Well, two reasons. One, I think that people need to understand I'm human, and I've done a lot of shit in my career so far that have made people not think that I have feelings. Two, I'm not perfect, and like everybody that reads the book or that watches me or listens to me, they're not perfect either. But also, three, and more importantly, is that there are so many people who are going through shit and need to know that what you're going through is so not forever. And the thing that would have broke many people, they broke me temporarily, but I was able to put the pieces back together and keep it moving. And I want everybody to know that no matter what they're going through, I was molested. I mean, when you're molested, when you're victimized by some stranger, somebody literally woke up to fucking take advantage of a small kid, right? That small kid's gonna live with that for a long time. Now, I didn't live in my trauma to the extent that I was like emotionally disabled from growing or evolving, but I pushed all this shit down. I pushed it all down. That's why I gained all the weight. That's why I was not able to love or be loved. And I honestly becoming friends with Tiffany was really uncomfortable because she always told me she loved me. And I didn't want to say that back. I didn't want to feel it. I didn't want to hear it. But that was because I didn't know how to love myself. So when I started doing the work and started the process of discovering what was going on with my health. Why am I not able to lose weight? Oh, okay, I'm pre-diabetic. Oh, I have inflammation. Oh, I have sleep apnea. Oh, well, I have all these things. All these things are triggered by weight. So let me put a plan together to get all this weight off. Then when I get all the physical weight off, there's still all that mental and emotional weight. So I'm gonna write a book, and when I put all that in a book, I'm gonna put it all there, and that's where the fuck it's gonna live. And I'm not dealing with that shit no more. So I felt like there are so many other people that are going through shit that need to read it and know, like, yo, I don't give a fuck what it is, whether it's a job you hate, a relationship that you don't like, your mother doesn't love you the way that you want her to, your father's not there, your brother who you love more than anybody gets killed, you get shot. Oh, what the fuck is going on in your life that has you feeling like God ain't looking out for you, and that and then what do you need to have, what tool do you need to have in order to understand that your steps are ordered, all of them that are challenges and all of them that are great are all equally important. What is that tool? And for me, it was the book. And so I've gifted thousands of copies of the book. I've sent them to foster kids. I've sent them to foster care owners. I've sent it to juvenile halls. I've sent it to kids I meet who tell me they're inspiring to be a model or inspiring to be a fucking rapper or whatever. It's like, yo, my nigga, okay, you can have all the inspiration you want, but if you don't do the fucking work, you ain't gonna be shit. You're gonna be sitting around here just existing, and you should want more for your life than to just be fucking existing. So the book hopefully inspires people to want to do more and do the work.
Absolutely. And you said absolutely. Do the work. Where can I go get the book?
Right there in that link up top. But you know what's so
I know that's right.
I shot that book, I shot that book cover. I walked in the room. I said, "Yo, you got 5 minutes to do this cover." Don't don't edit it. Don't super polish it. I'm wearing a black t-shirt. I want a black backdrop. I don't want it to be nothing but my face, no jewelry, nothing to distract people. I'm not smiling. Don't take out any lines. This is what it's raw. It is a reflection of what's in this book. And we literally shot this in 5 minutes, and then I walked the fuck out. And I know the people in the room were like, "Oh, he's a diva. He only gave us 5 minutes." I know that's what they were thinking, but I was like, "Nah, nigga, 5 minutes. It's not going to be perfect, but it's going to be the perfect imperfection to illustrate what's in this book." And when people read it, now I lost all this weight. I'm like, yo, I'm not even fat like that anymore. I need to reshoot the cover though. But that's the vanity. I mean, I'm not allowing that to happen because that's who I was at the time. My next book though, I'm gonna look like a fucking boss on the next fucking shit.
Yes.
Jason Lee in the house, y'all, with Trolls Nation. My last question to you would be: are there any content creators on this app that you've been looking at? And then, would you, for the Trolls Nation fan base, they want to know: would you ever sit down with 6ix9ine and do an interview?
6ix9ine and I recently just FaceTimed where I reminded him that we still need to do an interview. Um, but I will say I don't think it's not going to be the interview that he did on the shade, like the Shade Room. No shade to them at all. I think that was definitely a great platform to do an interview because they have millions and millions of followers. Where he was able pretty much to say whatever he wanted to say to get it off. But my show is very different, where we do challenge your thoughts, we do challenge your positions, we do challenge you, and I think he's going to be a dynamic interview if he comes in. He's just honest in who he is, but he knows how to get the internet moving. And I don't want to interview somebody just for the sake of, going viral. Because I think a conversation can go viral without all the antics. Have I seen creators on the app that I'm looking at like, yo, they got a lot of potential? I mean, there's a couple. I don't want to say everybody's name though, because I'm really just assessing ego. Because as much as I'm successful and as much as I can shit on any of them, I'm also extremely humble, and I was humbled to be invited to come here. You know what I mean? Like I love sharing this space as much as I want to talk to the billboards and the Wendy's and all that. I also think that it's important, especially somebody who's going to get into e-learning, to talk to a bunch of people who want to do what you, or who are doing what you do and what you've mastered and what you're continuing to master. So yeah, there are some people that I think are really talented, but there's just so much ego on the app right now. There's so much I'm better than everybody, and I'm better than this person, or I got to be on the leader of this and that in order to be something. I'm like, no, I built Hollywood Unlocked from Instagram with no money and no fucking support. I literally built it from an idea. It was I still have the deck, and to watch it grow and watch the deals get bigger and bigger and bigger, and the influence, and be able to walk into a hotel in a country you've never been and somebody handed you $10,000 when you started a company where you only had $100 to your name to eat for a whole week is it's fucking dope. You know what I mean? And I want to see people get that. But right now there's so much toxicity on this app and on every other app that I'm on that I'm like, yo, are y'all niggas really serious? Are y'all paying attention? You can't be in a room saying that you can't do anything because you're gay, because I'm gay as fuck and I'm doing it all. First nationally syndicated in urban radio, talking to niggas on the same channel as The Breakfast Club and Big Boy and all these others, the number one show in the country in 72 markets, owned the show, and gay, and talking about whatever the fuck I want to talk about I don't get no notes on what I can and can't talk about. I cuss. I do all the things that I want to do. So if you're in the space talking about, oh, I can't get this because I'm gay, well, you're not looking at me. If you're in the space saying you can't get it because you're black, you're not looking at me. If you're in the space saying you can't do it because you're overweight, you're not looking at me. So while you're so busy being distracted trying to own some shit without doing the work, I'm over here fucking working and I'm winning. And I'm gonna keep on fucking working and winning. And when I see people with talent, as I have seen on this app, I've hired somebody on this app. I've hired two people from this app. I just opened a studio, Hollywood Unlocked Studios. I'm sure I'm going to be hiring more people. But those are going to be people who have shared vision, who believe in investing the time, who don't want to come in and be me on day one, but who want to learn from me. So that way, by their second year or third year, they can take all the education and experience and support from me to invest in them to become their own brand. I want all my employees at some point to own their own brand that I can partner with them on, and make more money watching them become their own entrepreneurs. And so that's something that we talk about all the time over here.
All right, y'all. Jason Lee is in the building, y'all. Y'all give it up for him. Jason Lee, entertainment journalist, reality TV star, iHeartRadio personality, and CEO of Hollywood Unlocked. Y'all give it up for him. Thank you so much for coming through the Trolls
Thank
Nation today.
you.
Thank
Appreciate you,
you.
Jason, bro.
Appreciate you so
Shouts out
much,
to
guys.
you.
Make sure
Shout
you
out
follow all
Jason
the
Lee,
mods,
man, coming up and
Jason.
plugging in. Trolls Nation.
Yes,
Follow
definitely
all
make
the
sure you
trolls.
Yeah.
if you love to, make sure you definitely follow the Trolls, and definitely make sure we would love to have you as a guest in Trolls Nation. So definitely follow the house, and we would love to just have you through here whenever you like to come through. We would love to get some live feedback on how you feel about our Q&A, since it definitely was last minute for us, but definitely important and definitely done the way we felt like it needed to be done. How you feel about it?
No, it was great. It was great. Listen, first of all, I followed the club. And shout out to Tim. Tim just came in the building. So Tim is somebody who I met on the app, and now we partnered on my merch, and he's rebuilt my store, and we are getting ready to launch a whole massive program where I told him I want to make $1 million a month. It's a very aggressive goal, but shout out to Tim. No, look, I think that it was great. I definitely came in here prepared to get attacked. I definitely came in here prepared to
Aw.
is dope. And I love that, being a troll doesn't mean you got to be on the app and be negative all day. Being a
That's
troll
it.
doesn't
Facts.
mean that,
That's
and
right.
what I also said about Troll Nation, and I'm gonna just throw this out here because I don't know how operational you guys are outside the app, but Troll Nation could become a massive brand. Think about it. All the celebrities who troll people, all the people on the app comments who are trolling people on the different platforms. Being a troll is is a way of life for everybody. Big celebrities are. I just told Floyd Mayweather tonight. I think you're more pettier than I am. And these celebrities love hearing or seeing people troll. There's memes that are trolling. I think you can really operationalize it and build something. If you're not already doing that, if you are, great. But nah, it's been great.
Well,
Awesome.
the future of a lot of things are in partnerships and collaborations and building those bridges. So definitely thank you from me, from DJ Swag, and also T Rose and CEO Reek, Phoenix, Delish,
Hey,
All Out,
Keezy.
APZ, Burners, guys, everybody legend, everybody that joined the stage. Thank you so much for being here, Trolls Nation. Thank y'all so much, Jason Lee. Y'all give it up for him one more time. Go out, make some
Yeah.
noise.
Yes,
Click
Appreciate
on
you,
Thank
top,
you,
Nation.
bro.
click
Shout out
yes,
to
any
the
Yeah.
link that's
nation.
good.
Enjoy the rest of your
And,
time in Dubai, Jason.
and we
Take
ain't
it
gonna
easy.
say trolls is going soft because they was so nice to you, but this ain't normal trolls behavior. I'm just letting
Wait,
you know that,
Giant.
Jason.
Trolls
I
got
Don't
came in
class.
here
start
Trolls
for the
got
tea
class.
too.
shit.
Well, look, man.
This
But
is
Sometimes,
trolling with class.
well, sometimes it's not always about the drama and all the high politics. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it's about actually getting to know a person, because we see people in passing, especially through these hallways and in rooms and things, and we don't actually get a chance to really know somebody, within those few seconds. So, actually taking the time and actually sitting down and getting to know somebody with some real questions, instead of asking them the bullshit on they beef, or, just the things that people don't really care about, but things that they actually care about, them going places, them doing things, their partnerships, the people, the things that they want to do in life, and them being role models, the roads we want to be a part of. So thank you, Jason Lee, for being here, Trolls Nation.
Wait, but,
We will
let
see
me let me
y'all
say
next time. Jason,
but
go
wait,
ahead.
wait,
Hmm.
let me say something. And this is important, right? I always tell people this, right? I rarely do interviews, and I rarely spend this kind of time anyway. I think if you have an idea of something you want to do and you have that kind of time with people, you can spend an hour trying to get sound bites that go viral, or you can spend an hour trying to pick at the mind of somebody who built something from scratch, right? And I think that the time was well spent. I can always come back and we can have a room where it's all about the wild antics and shit. Because I mean, I love that shit too. But I
Yeah.
think
Yeah,
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 I,
yeah.
definitely,
One
I
of
think
those rooms.
yeah, I'm down with all that. I'm down with all the fuck shit. But see, I think what's problematic on this app is there are so many people who I'll talk to when I go in their room or they come on my stage, and they don't spend half the amount of time trying to pick the brain to figure out how to master their shit so they can be making fucking money. They just want to have that clip that'll go viral on Instagram. Like nobody fucking cares about that shit all the time. Like be smart. And that was something that when I met Floyd, the first thing he said to me was, "Okay." You want to be a blogger? You want to be a media? Ask me a question. He folded his arms with complete confidence that I was going to ask him uh, something soft. And I said, why you keep running for Pacquiao? That was my first question. And the first day I met
Wow.
him, but it really helped build our relationship because he saw like, yo, this nigga's fucking, he's fearless. He really just asked me that question. And then when I heard his answer, I was like, yo, he's fucking brilliant. And so again, there's always a time and a place for that. And when I brought him on my show, I was able to really know him a lot better. And it made me a better interview, and it made it a really one of his best interviews ever. So I appreciate the time. Now when I come back, I want every question to be some fuck shit. Every single one.
We
We
get to
You
got
know
got
him
it.
you.
and
You
then
got
we
it.
We
troll
Oh
got
him.
you.
man,
Don't
they
worry
And
they
you
about it.
can
We
let
got you.
salivating. Hey,
you can let
Jason, that's
you
a done
We get
deal.
to
What was
know
his
him,
you can let
answer?
pop
and
you can let
then
your
we
poppy
troll
drink
him.
know that you can screenshot our stage and let poppy drink know that we had it all on blast here for you. So good looking out,
Yeah,
Jason Lee. We
yeah.
appreciate you for stopping by. This is super dope. You're a beautiful human being
We gonna
inside
have
and out.
Karen
So
Civil
thank you
next
so
too.
much.
Yeah, nah.
I
Hello.
mean,
Hey, he said he's
listen,
with the fuck shit.
listen.
Q&A with Karen
You
Civil and
and Karen
Jason Lee.
Civil.
Get on Trolls Nation. We
Yo,
got you.
who couldn't
Nah.
Extra
be
All right,
Hey,
look, y'all.
smells on Jason Lee?
We
Y'all
got
play
to
too
Hold on,
much.
hold on.
y'all.
Listen.
Good.
Um, you could invite me to be on the stage with anybody you want, but be on the stage with, I don't give certain people opportunities to play in my face, right? Like there's no, like I get nothing from being on stage with a Karen Civil. So I wouldn't invite me to that show because then it'd probably be no. But you can ask me any question. If I'm on the stage, you want to ask me whatever you want
It
about
doesn't
whatever you.
work. Our slips aren't working.
We
nah.
got it.
Next time we definitely getting into Jason Lee's celebrity crushes though. We gonna get
Uh
him. We gonna run
oh.
down the list.
Oh God. Okay, I'll make sure I have the
Celebrity
list.
Jason, do you
smashes.
feel that you got more opportunities after you had your surgery than before you had your surgery?
No, I didn't allow my fashion game to be better because I can fit shit. But I mean, I had confidence when I was fat. I had confidence when I
The
was
result?
not fat. You know what I mean? Like being fat, overweight, whatever you want to call it.
I don't
I
know.
think none of it.
I doubt
I feel like I just still do what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know. I don't think so.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Well, we definitely thank you for stopping by. We appreciate you coming to grace our stage. Anybody else, T Rose, you guys have anything else you wanted to say real quick before we wrap it up?
Oh
No,
yeah, I
man.
got a question. I
Listen,
got a
listen.
question.
I just want to thank Jason. I just want to thank you, Jason Lee. You know what I'm saying, for even blessing us with on the stage, bro. I remember when I reached out, I was like, damn, I don't know if Jason gonna come, but you're a real individual, bro. So for you to do that, man, that was everything for this room.
In
Definitely appreciate it.
Dubai.
In
In Dubai.
Did
Dubai.
it in
Dubai for the
That
New Year's.
Dubai.
part.
That's
In
plush.
Dubai.
That's what's
Yeah,
up.
that's lit.
Now I got a question. I got a question for Jason. All right, so
What's up?
once you
Facts.
know what I'm saying, once you got all sexy and all that, even though you was already sexy, once you got even more sexy, whatever, boom, boom, boom. What made you decide to grow the beard out?
What made me decide to
To
what?
grow the beard out, like what made you decide to grow the facial hair and all that? I love it,
Um,
by the way.
COVID, because I wasn't getting a haircut, and I started growing the beard, and I would go live, and people were like, "Yo, you should grow it out." So I said, "Fuck it, I'll try it." And then people liked it. Then my DMs got lit as
Ah,
fuck, and I was like, "Okay,
Ooh.
let me
facts.
go and play with this a little bit." You know what I mean? And then now, like, and then also, getting haircuts. Like when you have hair on your face, or you growing your hair out, or whatever, like you got to keep the haircut. It was a lot of maintenance, so I just got it, and I like it now. It's a different look.
Absolutely, it looks great. You look sexy. Period.
Dope.
Thank you.
All right.
Well,
All
we're
right.
gonna go ahead and boom this room. Thank you so much for everybody that pulled up to show love and support
Yes.
to Trolls
Yes.
Nation.
Trolls
Don't
Nation,
forget to
shout
troll
out.
up top, tap the greenhouse, join the club, follow the mods
Shout
on
out to you,
stage. Thank you
Billboard.
so much, Jason. We
Thank
had a
Yes,
you,
sir.
blast.
Nation. Fuck with
All
us.
right,
Good looking at
Nation, fuck
everybody.
Man,
with the
I
nation.
am Trolls
man, and
Nation.
thanks for not playing the song too. That made this interview way better.
There we go.
Uh-uh.
Hey
Hey,
Jay,
Yo,
what
Jabba,
rhymes
what
with
rhymes
blue?
with flu?
What rhymes with blue?
Yeah, we're gonna keep that between us. But no, all right, y'all.
Good.
We gonna go ahead and boom this one.
All right,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Shout
Peace,
out to
y'all.
Troll
Trolls
Peace.
Nation.
Nation.
Mm.
I am Trolls Nation.